Hello there, I'm your host Sergeant Cluckster. Today we're investigating the mysterious identities of a comfort food classic, American chop suey. But what exactly is it? At its core, it's a simple, savoury mix of elbow macaroni, seasoned ground beef, and a rich tomato-based sauce. Usually it's bulked up with sautéed onions and green peppers. It's the ultimate one-pan meal that has fed generations of families. While the ingredients stay mostly the same, the name is a completely different story depending on where you're sitting at the dinner table. The name chop suey itself hints at a fascinating Chinese-American crossover history from the early 20th century. In Cantonese, tsap suey means miscellaneous leftovers. This American version applied that odds and ends philosophy to Italian-American staples. To be clear, it's not a Chinese dish. It's a purely American invention that borrowed a trendy name to sound a bit more exotic in the 1920s. If you're in New England, specifically Maine, Massachusetts, or New Hampshire, you definitely call this American chop suey. In these states, it's a school cafeteria legend and a staple of local diners, often served with a side of buttered white bread. But head west toward the Great Lakes, and the identity starts to shift. Suddenly, your dinner has a new name. In Ohio, particularly Columbus, it's famously known as Johnny Marzetti. It was named after an Italian immigrant's brother-in-law. Teresa Marzetti created it in the late 1800s, and it became so popular that it spread across the Midwest under her family name. Across much of the Midwest, however, most people just call it goulash. But don't confuse this with the Hungarian original. While Hungarian goulash is a beef stew flavored with paprika, American goulash is strictly a macaroni and meat sauce affair. In parts of Pennsylvania, things get even more colorful with names like Slumgullion or even seven-can soup. Slumgullion is an old gold mining and nautical term for a cheap stew. It eventually stuck to this macaroni medley in many rural areas. Out west, you might hear it called Spanish rice, even though there's no rice, or the more generic beefaroni. Cross the border into Canada, specifically Toronto, and you'll find it labelled as chili mac, though it's rarely actually spicy. Our investigation shows that while the name changes every few hundred miles, the soul of the dish remains the same. It's about making something delicious out of what's in the pantry. It's the ultimate edible melting pot of American regions. Why so many names? Most of these were spread through community cookbooks and church social dinners, where names evolved locally. Before the internet, a recipe's name was as local as the person who shared it over a backyard fence or a kitchen table. Today, it remains a beloved, budget-friendly staple, reminding us of our regional roots with every savoury bite. So whether you call it goulash, marzetti, or chop suey, just make sure you have a big spoon and a hearty appetite. That's the report on American chop suey. I'm Sergeant Cluckster, signing off on this delicious regional mystery. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the history of your favourite foods. See you next time.